Who are these people?
I hope that all of the Ukraine flag bios are happy, and I hope that everyone who says that we need to support Ukraine with defense, like Kyle Klinsky, people with dumb fuck foreign policy, who believe that sending endless weapons to the most corrupt country in Europe is just okay. Um, well, now we have and there. So Melanino TV is saying that this is a javelin anti-tank missile. It's not. It's an apparently Swedish military officials are saying this is an AT-4, which is still something that they very
That's still a
frequently
NATO
training. And this is footage from Monday that aired on Tuesday evening from Radio.
Presunto miembro del cártel del Golfo en Tamaulipas fue grabado portando una de las armas más exclusivas y poderosas, un javelin, que en teoría se vende únicamente al ejército y ha sido utilizado durante la invasión a Ucrania, por ejemplo. En el mercado negro,
missiles, right?
Esa arma que lleva a su derecha, la otra es una...
So, I mean...
That's a Stinger missile, right?
Presunto miembro del cártel del Golfo en Tamaulipas fue grabado portando una de las...
So keen-eye military experts believe the weapon in the Miliano footage may actually be AT-4, a Swedish-made disposable anti-tank launcher, which is still also likewise supplied to Ukraine by the thousands. So it's not like it's like that was supposed to be like the debunk. It was like kind of like how did you see how Jackson Hinkle got like community noted today? Because
I blocked him too.
Oh, you blocked him? God damn.
Blocked him or muted him.
So he like quote tweeted the Gray Zone article with the Nord Stream where they found the boot.
I saw that. I saw that article.
So all the NATO crowds are saying, "Oh, like that's not a diver's boot, you fucking idiot, you fucking stupid idiot." And like meanwhile, it's like still yes, it is a diver's boot. Like it's like it is absolutely what they actually
the
US Navy uses. Yeah, Jackson got community noted by NATO today. So that's the problem with community notes. Community notes might be a danger.
Wait, so NATO can community note?
Yeah, NATO can community note. We learned that today with Jackson.
Oh my god! So straight up disinfo, just so worse.
Yep. Yep. So I really hope everyone's happy. I hope all that money is going to put to great use over in Mexico with the drug cartels.
So I mean, but it just reminds me of
because Putin has warned, Russia has repeatedly warned the U.S. and its allies not to stuff Ukraine with weapons and ammunition, both because it risks a direct confrontation and since the non-existent controls would result in weapons end up in the criminal underworld. And he warned this. He warned about this early in July 2022.
So here's the thing that I'm trying to like wrap my head around because I remember us hearing. I had that article, I think from last week, but that like 2/3 of all weapon shipments going to Ukraine weren't making it into the field, and they were being sold on the black market.
So look at this article from 2016 in the Reuters article from 2016. Ukraine after war becomes a trove for black market arms trade.
Yeah, so
sure. And so like I want to ask you like this is really the broader question here that I'm curious about is so I'm assuming that we're shipping these off of like the East Coast border. It's getting sent to the shipping coast. How is it getting turned around and then back into Mexico? Unless Ukraine is just directly selling it from there.
So that's a great question, and I don't want to like have too much dead air trying to think about that. But I could imagine U.S. military flying it right back into Mexico.
You think so?
Okay, so it's kind of like so think about like do you like when you like the drug trade in Colombia is all done through the military, okay? Like the people running it is all military. So it stands to reason, like just You already know the Pentagon has trillions of dollars missing, right?
They're sending fucking weapons.
No, but you already know that they're
Sending
missing
fucking
like
javelin
trillions of
missiles.
dollars. Like, oh, maybe a red pill to some people, but there was like 2.3 trillion that Rumsfeld said was missing from the Pentagon.
Oh,
that
no,
was
it's
unaccounted
every
for.
year. Every year they're missing shit from the Pentagon.
But
It's,
no, but this was the
we
day
don't know where it
before.
went.
Day
Sorry.
before 9/11, the day before the Pentagon got hit, Rumsfeld said on national TV, $2.3 trillion was unaccounted for from the Pentagon. So just throwing that out there. But so I don't think it's beyond the imagination for a guy flying a A130 or whatever, those huge freaking supply airplanes. They'd be like, oh, there's six shipments on that 130. No, there's 5. Oh, there's 5. And then they go on their way. Money is exchanged and they're on their way.
But like you're dealing with one of the most corrupt countries in you. I mean, I'm imagining it's getting tracked in some way, but I'm trying to figure out like who's bypassing this, who's getting, who's putting the stamp on this.
But we both agree that part of U.S. imperialism and part of their job is continuing like the cartels and stuff that like fueling the war machine in other countries. They're not. You don't see anybody at the Pentagon or at DHS or at Border Patrol being like, oh no, they have those freaking rocket launchers. They're like, oh, they got our rocket launchers. How'd that happen? Like now we have like legitimacy for our organization. You know, like,
and that's the other problem that I wanted to connect it to. You have fucking maniacs, like Lindsey Graham, who are out here on Fox News. They're telling audiences of millions of people to go and fucking invade Mexico. Watch.
So basically, using that Plan Colombia, we've done this before. Yes. So there's nothing outrageous in our national security history.
Talking about Gary Webb fucking.
I believe you said it happened during the Clinton administration. So, a Democrat. You've got Senator John Kennedy with you today. You're looking for. He was on this show last night. We were talking about the Federal Reserve. He's a pretty smart fellow. Yes, indeed.
Oh, he's awesome.
He's also got a good sense of humor, as you do as well. Tell us more about the military. So, if the military is authorized, Senator.
Right.
I kind of tell me if this is wrong, but look, you're been in our Army for so many years, not me, but I sort of think of it as our military in hot pursuit. Sometimes you have to do that in wartime across the border in order to go after the cartels.
I can't really say it any better. Just imagine this: there's an ISIS cell in Mexico or an Al Qaeda cell. They lob a rocket into to Texas. We'd blow them off the map. We'd try to work with Mexico. If they wouldn't work with us, we'd take out the terrorist threat. Well, these drug cartels are killing more Americans than 9/11, more Americans than car wrecks and gun violence combined each year. More Americans than the entire Vietnam War die from fentanyl poisoning, 70,000 a year, and it's going up. So what does this two-step process, what does it allow? It allows for the drug cartels to be treated differently under U.S. law, and the authorization to use military force is not to invade Mexico, not to take the Mexican government down, is to use military force to strike at the cartels, the labs, and their infrastructure that's killing Americans. We do this all over the world. We hit terrorists in Syria almost every night. We do it in Iraq. Wherever there's a threat to Americans.
Why not Mexico? Let's go straight to Mexico.
We deal with that threat. The number one job of the federal government is to defend this nation. The Biden.
You remember the pictures of him in like 2015 and
with McCain and
The administration has not done all they could do to stop the fentanyl poisoning of Americans. They have been slow. They have been reluctant. I am changing the game. I want every drug dealer in Mexico to not sleep well at night wondering if there's a missile coming through the window.
I love that.
So this is serious.
any foreign government
like people are like they're like this is an actual
to intervene
thing
in our territory,
Yeah, I mean, he's being.
especially not a foreign government's armed forces. What's wrong with them? Of course we don't accept that. We don't accept threats. But it's not President Biden's government, it's the Republicans.
That was Mexico's President Andrés Manuel López Obrador. He was reacting to calls by some U.S. Republicans to send the U.S. military to shut down drug labs in Mexico. Senator Lindsey Graham said he would introduce a new bill to designate Mexican cartels as foreign terrorist organizations and authorize the use of military force against them.
We're going to unleash the fury and might of the United States against these cartels. Not to invade Mexico, not to shoot Mexican airplanes down, but to destroy drug labs that are poisoning Americans.
So you get the point. This is mostly like the whole purpose. I feel like is like to make the connection to or like the broader point here is really to just drum up and draw more war, and you can see a reason why they want to get rid of this guy. Because Almo,
Palestine.
yeah, no, this is a big deal.
Hard line, very hard line for American establishment. That's for sure.
Yeah, no, you can't find a politician who does this. Can't find a politician who does this, but you can find a Mexican president who does, and that's why they want to send troops in there, and that's why they're doing this under this veil of being of for like a drug cartel.
It's just like, so this is like kind of like the overarching thing that I was saying, where like things are getting so absurd that like saying something like that like 5-10 years ago, people have been like, your head's on broken, like, oh, invading Mexico, what? And, like, are they crazy enough to do it? Could they really do it? Are they really going to invade Mexico? Under the auspices of, like, oh, we need to take down the cartels with the weapons that we are indirectly selling them. Like, AMLO knows that the weapons that the cartel have is illegally imported American arms. Like, he knows that, like, Mexican cartels are part of that circuit. So like it's kind of like a unserious conversation that they're having about like, oh, we're gonna invade Mexico because like the cartel getting American drugs is like or getting American guns is a story.
Yeah, that's part of their whole
that's
shit.
Like just it's been going on for decades. It's not going to stop anytime soon, regardless of whether we throw out, like, if there was like a coup and we throw out and instill an already more favorable Mexican president, there would still be a cartel drug and gun trade.
Yeah, like I could see that. I could see like some sort of like coup thing.
But it wouldn't. It wouldn't stop.
Connected.
Because
they need each other. I mean, like how else is Zelensky going to get his cocaine?
Exactly. That's part of, like, I'm sure there's a part of it where it's
there's
like,
a direct line from Mexico.
Like, you see those videos. There was one.
That's where he gets his code.
There was one video a couple of days ago. It looked like he couldn't sit straight. It was hard to watch.
No, he's got some.
Like, but I try, like, and me seeing him, it's fucking funny, man. Me seeing fucking Zelensky skeeted out is the only time I'll have just like an ounce of sympathy for him. Because I'm like, try and imagine
out all the time.
All the calls that he's getting from Blinken, from Hillary Clinton, from Victoria Nuland, from like the worst people, from Kissinger, like the worst people in the world, just blowing up Zelensky's phone all the time.
And he's just sitting there. He wakes up. He rises up
he's coked out of his mind.
He's just
all the time. Like,
he's just like
Dude, it's like you know that if Hillary Clinton is calling you, that you don't ignore that call if you're Zelensky. Like, you can't ignore that call and expect to get away with it. Oh, I'm taking a shit. Yeah, that's why I gave you your phone in your bathroom. Like there's no, like, that's why I'm like, man, like, the amount of stress, like, for Zelensky, because remember, last year, Boris Johnson thwarted efforts for negotiations to commence. That was going to happen. Zelensky did try and make a feeble attempt to end the war last year. Like, that did actually happen. And so, like, yeah, I think he's got a crazy drug habit because he's basically surrounded with, like, real life demons and villains 24/7.